This meeting is being recorded.
Darkness has descended upon the city, and the creatures of the night have begun to stir. This is the time when the veil between the realms of the living and the dead is the thinnest, and all that is not what it appears to be. Like a lone sentinel, one candle flickers in the night, revealing all that lurks in the darkness. This is Ghost Chronicles, Book of Shadows. Welcome to the nightmare.
Well, good evening, everyone. I am Ron Kolick, that lone candle flickering in the light, and looking out for that wicked witch from the west, Marla Brooks. Who is with me? I spy her.
What? Who? What?
Huh? I spy you. So I'm
You
flickering
do?
out of the darkness. I spy you.
I s-
Whatever.
I'm-
Forget
yeah,
it.
okay.
Forget the whole damn thing. It's going nowhere.
Doesn't
Anyway.
usually. Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
But we have a guest, don't we? Huh?
We do. How'd that happen?
I don't know. I
Yeah.
did it. I made it happen.
I know you did. And Marla,
You're welcome.
Yeah. And Marla, who joins me every fourth week or so, is one of my harem of co-hosts. But anyways, Book of Shadows is hers, so there you go. But why don't you introduce our guest since you brought him?
Okay, it's Paul Taitt, and he's a documentary filmmaker and paranormal investigator with decades of experience and exploring the unexplained. And that's what he's going to be doing tonight, because there are times Ron and I are aren't explainable.
That's definitely not explainable. And
Yes,
all you American women will love him because he's got an English accent. So without further ado, we're bringing you on. Who are we bringing on?
Paul Taitt.
There you go.
Hi, everybody. Hi, Marla. Hi, Van.
Hello. That's too long, you know.
I
You've
know.
been up
Thank you. Thank you
on
for
my
having me on the show.
Yeah.
So Paul, where are you from in the UK?
London, England,
Oh,
originally.
you are from
Yeah.
England. Okay.
Oh, yeah. London,
Uh,
England. Yeah.
I know.
I was raised there.
Because people get a little touchy, you know, if you're from Wales or
Yes.
Scotland or someplace else, they get a little touchy once in a while.
Yeah. There's a little bit of rivalry. Well, there was when I was there. It's been a long.
Being recorded.
Darkness has descended upon the city, and the creatures of the night have begun to stir. This is the time when the veil between the realms of the living and the dead is the thinnest, and all that is not what it appears to be. Like a lone sentinel, one candle flickers in the night, revealing all that lurks in the darkness. This is Ghost Chronicles, Book of Shadows. Welcome to the nightmare.
Well, good evening, everyone. I am Ron Kolick, that lone candle flickering in the light, and looking out for that wicked witch from the west, Marla Brooks. Who is with me? I spy her.
What? Who? What?
Huh? I spy you. So I'm
You
flickering
do?
out of the darkness. I spy you.
I'm-
Whatever. Forget
yeah,
it.
okay.
Forget the whole damn thing. It's going nowhere.
Doesn't
Anyway.
usually. Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
But we have a guest, don't we? Huh?
We do. How'd that happen?
I don't know. I
Yeah.
did it. I made it happen.
I know you did. And Marla,
You're welcome.
Yeah. And Marla, who joins me every fourth week or so, is one of my harem of co-hosts. But anyways, Book of Shadows is hers, so there you go. But why don't you introduce our guest since you brought him?
Okay, it's Paul Taitt, and he's a documentary filmmaker and paranormal investigator with decades of experience and exploring the unexplained. And that's what he's going to be doing tonight, because there are times Ron and I are aren't explainable.
That's definitely not explainable. And
Yes,
all you American women will love him because he's got an English accent. So without further ado, we're bringing you on. Who are we bringing on?
Paul Taitt.
There you go.
Hi, everybody. Hi, Marla. Hi, Van
Hello.
House.
That's too long, you know.
I
You've
know.
been up
Thank you. Thank you
on
for
my
having me on the show.
Yeah.
So Paul, where are you from in the UK?
London, England,
Oh,
originally.
you are from
Yeah.
England. Okay. All
Oh,
right.
yeah. London, England. Yeah.
I know
I was raised there.
because people get a little touchy, you know, if you're from Wales or
Yes.
Scotland or someplace else, they get a little touchy once in a while.
Yeah. There's a little bit of rivalry. Well, there was when I was there. It's been a long time, but the Scots, the Welsh, the English, they always had this thing. And it wasn't bad. It was just, they poke fun at each other. So,
Yeah, I actually do a show, a Ghost Chronicles pub edition with Stephen Scott from Scotland and Stephen Parsons from Wales. So yeah, it's all.
yeah.
I know
So,
exactly what you're talking about.
all good fun.
Mhm. Absolutely. So I was acquainted with you when because I'm the new station manager at PowerX, and some of the shows that Marla's Stir in the Cauldron I have played, and I came across one with Soul Smack on, which I believe you had something to do with.
Yes, I was one of the ones who actually started that show. We founded it. Soul Smack was a group of us up here in Maine that got together. I believe it was around 2007, 2008, and we made a documentary film about sleep paralysis. And we traveled all over America getting interviews with people and experts that had insight and experiences with sleep paralysis. And we put together this great documentary film that was released on YouTube. But back in the day, we didn't have the distribution that we have today. So it really didn't get much exposure. And it's out there. If you search on YouTube, you might be able to find a copy someone ripped from a DVD and put it up there, because that's what a lot of people do. They have these old DVDs and they were able to rip them and post them. I've seen the documentary on there, and it's called Your Worst Nightmare: Supernatural Assault.
Okay, your worst night.
And it's really good. It really was.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, thank you.
Did I hear you from Maine?
Now I am. Yes, I've been here.
I'll be damn. I'm down the street from you. I'm in Massachusetts.
Oh wow. Yeah,
On the
we're neighbors.
on the New Hampshire border.
Yeah, you're not far then. You're about
No,
what, an hour and a half to 2 hours? No, maybe about 2 hours from me.
Yeah. I go up to Maine and do different things up there all the time. Huh, that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
And you haven't lost your accent, so that's even better.
No, it's because of the internet, really. You get to speak to your friends back home, so you get that that connection, that contact that keeps your accent vibrant and still alive.
Mhm.
There's some things I say that they say they see the Americanisms in my descriptions of things, but other than that, I haven't lost it. And there was one other thing I wanted to say about the documentary film.
Oh, yeah, go ahead.
We produced a second one in 2018. That wasn't under Soul Smack, but that was under Dark Element Films. And that documentary is all over the place. It's on Amazon, it's on Tubi, it's on YouTube, it's everywhere. And it's the second part, called Supernatural Assault, which leads into the Shadow People, which is the topic of tonight's discussion.
Interesting. So are you saying I want, before we get into Shadow People, and I will get into it, is back on sleep paralysis. Is it are you in the documentary saying it's supernatural, or are you looking at it more of a skeptical, or is it open-minded, or how do you approach it?
Well, the documentary film Supernatural Assault infers that this is a spiritual experience. And Your Worst Nightmare was more of a more, let's just say, reserved. It didn't infer too much. It did touch on the fact that these assaults, these encounters are of a supernatural experience for some people, and other people it could be down to many other conditions that cause it,
Mhm.
you know, such as stress. PTSD can cause it as well. Sleepless nights can cause it. I know how to bring sleep paralysis on. You know, I figured that out.
Mhm.
But it's just one of those things. It's a normal human experience that happens to 1 in 5 people worldwide. Many of them won't discuss this. They won't talk about it because they, like myself, when it happened to me, I didn't know what it was. And I didn't want to tell people that I'd had this because they think, you know, you're crazy. That's the normal human response. This guy's got problems, or this girl's got problems. And so back in the day, we didn't have the internet when it happened to me. So you didn't know how to look it up unless you went to the library and knew what you were looking for. You wouldn't know what it was until I saw it on television one day. And that's how I first was introduced to an experience that happened to me years prior. I found out through a TV show.
Oh, wow. That's pretty
Yeah,
interesting.
yeah,
I had sleep paralysis once, and it was, kind of frightening when it's happening, but I soon was able to realize it was sleep paralysis, and I actually tried to prolong it to understand it more, but, eventually just it didn't happen anymore. But,
yeah. The way to describe sleep paralysis, if it happens to somebody who's never experienced it, you know, when you wake up at night and you've been sleeping on your arm and your arm's dead, but it feels like someone else's arm there. You know, you touch it, you can't feel it.
right.
Sleep paralysis feels like that, but all over the body, meaning the body is unable to move, it's unable to respond, but you're awake, you're aware, you can hear, you can see, but eventually when it passes, it feels as if the numbness fades and then you're able to move all of a sudden. That's the best way to describe it.
Yeah, but a lot of times too, there is a feeling of a presence in the room, or even a
Correct.
vision of a presence in the room.
Yeah, yeah, and that's another aspect of sleep paralysis that's covered in both documentaries.
I know it was a fascinating. I listened to both of those. I quite enjoyed the interview you did with Marla Ron.
Yeah, yeah. Thank you. But yeah, sleep paralysis, definitely people see and hear things, that they hear a buzzing sound. Some people will hear this buzzing sound. They'll feel a pressure come down on them, pressing them into the bed. Some people will actually see the physical entity or the non-material entity
Mhm.
standing in their room. And then some people have described it in the documentary films that we have, crawling up on top of them and pressing them into the bed,
That
and
must be
almost sucking the life out of them as it gets closer to their face.
almost, like a succubus, or what is it?
Yeah,
Yeah,
incubus and
yeah.
succubus.
I
Yeah,
think it's the succubus. Yeah.
yeah,
Oh, it's intriguing. I mean, I love that stuff. So I find it so
yeah.
fascinating.
It was well understood in many cultures before. They openly spoke about it. They openly treated it. They openly represented it in their artworks, in their writings. But it was only in the West that this experience, it's a normal human experience. So anyone who has it out there, you're not crazy. It's a normal human experience. You were able to talk about it before, but what happened was they erased the experience from what they say our cultural repertoire. You'll hear that in the film, while the experiences continue to happen. And the thing about it is, we went to a Cambodian monastery, what do you call it, a monastery, a temple, Cambodian
Yeah.
temple
Okay.
down in Massachusetts, and we filmed in there, and they have ceremonies to help people to get through this when they have it on a regular basis, you know.
Mhm.
So that's it.
The Cambodians deeply believe in the spirits coming back too, which is another
Yes,
aspect of it as well, because that's part of their culture.
correct. Yeah, you're right there. Reincarnation, the wheel of life, you know,
Mhm.
all of that. And there is something to that. We spoke to Dr. David Hufford, one of the best known names in sleep paralysis. Anyone who's making a film wants to interview him. So we did. We interviewed him. And he told us a lot of stuff about it, you know, about the the past, the present, and what's actually happening as far as people's um, ability to cope with it. So it's not something that you should ever be afraid of, the sleep paralysis, that's just normal. I can tell people how to bring that on. It's the other part of it that people are more scared of, that we'll talk about later.
Well, this book, it's ouch, sorry, cat bit.
Oh, that's evil. You want to talk about evil? That's that cat.
Yeah, accent.
Yeah.
All right. But but the book is The Shadow People. And that book contains the experiences from real people. And one witness account in the book from the Chislehurst Cave, I think that's how I pronounce it.
Chislehurst Caves. That was me. That was actually me.
That's what I was going to ask, because it
Yeah.
says the man, it says Paul Taitt.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, that's what I was going to ask. Was it you?
I'll tell you all about that. That was my introduction into non-material entities like shadow people. By that point in my life, I hadn't had sleep paralysis, so I had it the other way around. There's a network of tunnels in England, and they're called the Chislehurst Caves in Surrey. They're made of chalk, and they run for like 11 miles, and they're an intricate network of tunnels that run under the ground. And they do tours down there. So one day I went on a tour with a group of work colleagues down into the Chislehurst Caves, and they take you down quite deep. And if you've never experienced 0 photons of light in your life, then this is the place to go. We had these old lanterns. They looked old, like the old gas lanterns, but they were actually electrical.
Mm-hmm.
So we're able to turn them on and off at will. So the guide took us down into a deep part of the tunnel, and he said, there are 0 light photons here. And I guarantee not many of you have ever experienced that. He said, I'm going to count to whatever he did, 5 or 10, and everyone had to turn out their lanterns at the same time. And when we did, it actually felt and looked like someone had taken the eyes from your head, literally taken your eyes out, and your ability to see was gone. And that's the blackest black I've ever seen in my life down in those caves. And there's been supernatural phenomena in those caves that's been recorded over the years. So we ended up going down further into the tunnel near a place known as the Old Well Shaft. And I was standing at the back of the group, and there was this German lady next to me. She was on vacation, or holiday, as we would say in England.
Mm-hmm.
She was standing next to me to my right. And I was holding my lamp. She was holding her lamp, and the guide was talking just below the well. And all of a sudden, I felt this urge to turn around. And I did. And I looked. And when I turned around, there was 3 glowing embers that looked like a triangle, 1 at the top and 2 underneath. So it was a triangular shape, as if somebody was smoking a cigarette and they drew or dragged on the cigarette. It glowed like that. And all of a sudden, those 3 dots in a triangular formation started to spin clockwise slowly. And I tapped the German lady and I said to her, look at that. So she turned around. We both began observing this formation of glowing dots. They started to spin faster and faster, and then eventually they stopped, and 1 ember went to the top of the cave, probably up to the height of about 8 feet or so, and then the 2 bottom embers went down, and out from the center of those embers jumped a small figure, I would say the size of a teenage boy. It was dressed in like, well, when I say dressed, what it looked like was somebody was wearing a diver's suit. I had never seen a shadow person, heard of a shadow person, or even read about a shadow person at that time. And it jumped out and pounced. And when it landed on the floor, it was almost like when a cat jumps. It just jumped with skill. And it was looking around the environment, but it wasn't looking at us. It was looking around in its environment. And we were staring at it, and I thought, what the hell is that? And then the German lady let out a shriek. She screamed. Yeah, she screamed.
Woman.
Yeah. And when she screamed, the second she screamed, it looked directly at us, like it had not seen us until that point. It was as if our worlds had collided. And then when she screamed and it looked at us, it turned to its left and ran straight through the chalk wall. It just went through that wall, no sound, nothing, just woof, right through that wall. And I thought, yeah, I straight away I was skeptical. I thought these guys are playing with us. They've got some sort of projector up there. I went down to where it was and I saw nothing, no projectors, no lights, no trickery. And then by that time, the group had come around the German lady and was like, what's going on? And I went back and I had to explain to them what we had both seen.
Right.
And the guide said to us, you are not the first. That has been seen by a lot of people in here. He said, when you go up to the surface, ask for the logbook and fill out your names, addresses, and exactly what you saw in that logbook. Me and the German lady traded addresses because back then this was the how old was I then? I was a teenager. So it's about 1989. There was no internet. There was nothing. So we exchanged physical addresses, physical telephone numbers, because she said, when I tell my friends back at home, they're not going to believe I saw this. So I never heard from her, but I never slept for weeks after that properly. I knew I had seen something that wasn't natural, and I didn't know what it was at that time. There was no name for it, but it was a dark entity that was void of features, but it had form, and it blocked out the light that behind it, and all we could see was this silhouette as it made its way across to my right and through that chalk wall as if it didn't exist.
That's interesting. When you first mentioned it, I thought it sounded like maybe a Tommy knocker, but it's certainly interesting. Do you think you have no idea what you kind of guessed? Was it perhaps a dimensional being of some sort? Was it, I'm really not sure what your thoughts are on it.
Yeah, I believe 100%, because I've seen them with my own eyes. For all your listeners out there, I don't know how many there are. These things are real. They're 100% real. I've seen them, and I didn't just see it myself. It was witnessed by that German lady at the same time. So we both couldn't have been hallucinating. If it was just me, I would have said maybe something was wrong with me that day. But we both saw it. We both exchanged afterwards our version of what we saw, and it was the same. So they're real. And since making the documentary and researching this for as many years as I have, 100% absolutely sure these things exist in our realm as we exist in theirs. It just takes a special situation to occur where momentarily we can see each other.
It's interesting. Dave Jones, who was our leader for a long time,
Still is.
He still is. But he went on an investigation at Waverly Hills Sanitarium, and this was years ago. And I don't remember all that went on, but I remember the thing that hit me. He said it was there. He was looking at it, and it was solid. It was so solid. That's what he was saying. Yeah.
The reason they appear so black, it's black like black you've never seen. And we actually were speaking to Dr. Hufford about this, and we were saying about the way they appear as a black void, a black, as if they're blocking the light. And then Dr. Hufford chimed in. You can see this in the documentary, and he said, if an entity that appeared in front of you that existed on another light frequency, I'm just paraphrasing here, it would block out the light that you could see and reflect light towards you that you could not see. And he said it would probably appear like a shadow. And at that moment, he had the realization, this is what they could possibly be. And he said, well, maybe there's something to that. And the thing is, we, in our world, this realm we call reality that we experience with the five senses, we're practically blind, deaf, and dumb to what exists in this realm. The whole electromagnetic spectrum, from X-rays to, gamma rays and all the other rays, infrared, ultraviolet, all of those types of electromagnetic frequency ranges that exist in our realm, radio waves. We can't see them, we can't perceive them, but with the right equipment, we can. And there's a slither of light in the middle called the visible light spectrum is what we can perceive. And that's only a slither. And that's like about 400 to 800 nanometers of light in that entire spectrum. And if you imagine the entire spectrum was the length of a 1 meter ruler, so 3 feet, we literally can only see the middle mark at the 50 centimeter. That's it. That's all we can see, which is 0.035% of the entire spectrum. That means we're practically blind to anything else that could exist on another frequency, another wave that could be in our space with us. We're blind to it. And it could take something to happen. It could be a shift in your frequency. It could be that you're having sleep paralysis, and when you're sleeping, you're in a different state. You're sleeping at like 4 hertz when you're in dream state. So when you wake up paralyzed, you might be able to momentarily perceive these non-material entities in your space that are always there among you, but you just can't see them. The Islamic culture is very clear on what can and can't exist, and they've written about it for a long time in their writings about these entities, and they call them the jinn.
Yep. So how do I mean? There's a lot of speculation about shadow people. They have the hat ones, and then the tall ones, and the thing. Did you find that in your research that there are various entities of shadow people?
Yeah, we found from all of the people that we interviewed, and again, your viewers, listeners can go on to YouTube, can go on to Amazon, watch the documentary. All of those descriptors are in there. The Hat Man, the one I described, it looked like someone wearing a skin diver suit, a black skin diver suit. There's smoke. There's others that appear as like an old wizened hag or like a hooded monk. There's different forms of these shadow people reported, but cross-culturally, they're all the same in all cultures, regardless of language. People are describing the same entities. And with all of this new UFO disclosure that's going on, that the government's now claiming these things exist. I saw an interesting graphic the other day, and it had 50 aliens listed on it, right? And it was a nice little graphic. It had illustrations of them all.
Yep.
And guess who showed up on that list?
Shadow
people. Yep.
Interesting.
So who knows? Who knows what these are? But a lot of people that we interviewed, and experts as well, seem to believe that these have always been with us. We interviewed Rosemary Ellen Guiley for the documentary shortly before she passed away.
Mm-hmm.
And that was a shock, because you're in her house one day, you're doing an interview with her. We sat there all through the day and night. We drank wine with her and her husband, left, and months later she passed away. I was in shock. I just couldn't believe it, because she never said nothing to us that she was not well, but that happened. And then we did a radio show with Coast to Coast AM. There was me and Rosemary on that show doing that. Mm-hmm. But she was adamant that these things are real, and that they have been spoken about in many cultures, in many lore for centuries. It's just that in the West, they tend to just poo-poo this stuff and say it's nonsense. You're mad, you're crazy. But no, it's real. I'm telling you now, it's 100% real. And until it happens to you, you won't believe it. But if it ever does, you'll soon see that we are not alone in this vibrational realm we call our world, our home, Earth.
Right. I mean, Rosemary's passing. I mean, there's somebody like that. I mean, Nick Pope, I just had on my show a little while ago. I had his wife on the show, and everything else, and then you're gone. That shows you the finality of life here with us. What happens afterward, we don't know, of course. But it's fascinating that your description of it is like, okay, you saw it, but it didn't see you. So it was only some point. Maybe she said she screamed or something at that point. So, I mean, sound waves, maybe that was the thing that created the opening or the cognizance to be for him to be able to see you.
Well, yes, and I can back that up. I'll send this picture. I think I've sent it to Marla in the past. When I made the first Supernatural Assault documentary, there was this lady called Polly Gear, Gear was her last name. and I don't know if it was her real last name, but that's the name she gave me. She used to be a paranormal investigator, and she was in a prison investigating an old prison that had shut down. And she said that she went up to the second floor, I believe it was, into one of the cells. And when she walked into the cell, there was a shadow person there, and it was standing by the window, looking out this little thin window. And she said she shone her light on it. And when she shone her light on it, and she wasn't making any noise when she walked in there and she shone her light on it, the shadow being lifted its arm up into the beam of light, and it was moving its arm up and down through the beam like it was something it was trying to understand in its space.
Huh.
Yeah, it was moving and it didn't even see her. It was reacting to the light wave. And then she said something and it ran, poof, like it just went.
Yep.
And then she said she went downstairs to the mess hall where the prisoners would have eaten. And she said she had her camera, and when she turned around, she snapped and she got a picture of it. And I've got that picture. She sent it to me, yeah? And you can see it as clear as day standing there. What was that? Is somebody entering the room?
Yes, that means the pizza's here, so that's fine.
In England, there was a comedy show. They used to say, "There's somebody at the door."
There you go.
Yeah, but no, that's what happened to her. She said she got a picture of it and she sent it to me. I have that still.
Yeah, I'd love to see it.
Yeah, I'll send it to you.
Yeah. Anyways, that was actually a hint that we've got to take a break shortly. Not a subtle hint either, but that's the way we do it. So.
Okay.
Yeah, that's how we do it here.
Yeah.
There's so much things to answer, and like in the watch chapter, it brings so much questions up. I mean, who are they? What are they? Are they a certain type of people?
Well,
only see them.
We only got a minute, so we better
I'm just
way back.
Yeah, well, we'll chew into that when we come back. But the thing about them is they're real. Anyone out there listening, I'm telling you, don't take my word for it, but they are real things that people have experienced for centuries.
And I know we're almost out of time, but do you think that you really have to experience them to understand them?
You have to experience them to totally believe that they're real.
Yeah.
But to understand them, I still don't to this day. I've heard so many stories. I kind of think I know what's going on, but I can't say with certainty.
Okay. So anyways, we got to take a break. You're listening to Ghost Chronicles right here on TogiNet and PowerX Radio, and we're all good podcasts go to die. I am Ron Kolick, your host, and with me, the lovely, what the hell's her name? Marla Brooks. And our special guest tonight is Paul Taitt. And we're brought to you by Circles of Wisdom, 386 Merrimack Street, Bethune, Massachusetts, the Gallant Master Family Law Group, and all our good friends on Ghost Chronicles Radio on Patreon. We'll be right back after the following messages.
Do you have a paranormal event, book, or something else you want people to know about? Then why not advertise it on Ghost Chronicles Radio? With over 150,000 downloads a month, get your message out to an audience that's interested in the subject. We have a plan at a cost that fits your needs. For more information, contact Ron Kolick at anyghostproject@comcast.net or call 978-455-6678.
Shadow on the wall that looks like a man. Lord, that lamp just moved on that stand. I got movement in the cellars, I got footsteps in the hall. There's no time to waste, I better make some calls. I gotta get ready, make everything right, 'cause all my rowdy friends are ghost hunting tonight. Hey, round up the tree, let's get started. Hey, this is Brother Mike. There's a party and you're invited. We got the camera set, let's turn off these lights. Cause all my rowdy friends are goes hunting tonight. This old house has a long history. It should be real, real good for activity. And we got the house wired for sound and got motion alarm setting all around. Got a box full of batteries ready to go, and everyone's itching to start this show. Got our logo tees, driving black SUVs, and that one bald guy with a slick goatee. Hey, round up the team. Let's get started. Hey, this is Brother Mike. Well, there's a party and you're invited. We got the camera set. Let's turn off these lights. Cause all my rowdy friends are goes hunting tonight. Hey, round up the team. Let's get started. Hey, this is your big brother Mike calling. Well, there's a party and you're invited. We got the camera set. Let's turn off these lights. Cause all my rowdy friends are goes hunting tonight. That's right. Go get 'em, boys.
Explore the seasons of the witch by way of magical spells and practices for each turn of the wheel of the year. Magic for All Seasons offers a fresh approach to a lifestyle that focuses on mind, body, and spirit in the nature-based way that our ancestors practiced throughout the ages. Starting with Samhain, author Marla Brooks, an experienced and long-time magical practitioner, explores the 8 Wiccan and pagan Sabbats that comprise the traditional Wheel of the Year, while incorporating original spells, recipes, incantations, meditations, and more that enhance the magic of each season. Oh, and be forewarned, this book is dedicated to Marla's great-grandmother Sophie, and a powerful witch she was. You'll run into her throughout the book. So don't be surprised if you feel someone looking over your shoulder. It's only Sophie, wanting to say hello.
And when Ron Kolikas and Marla Brooks is here, we're talking to a guest, Paul Taitt, and we're talking about shadow people. Scary, but interesting, huh? Nobody's talking. Hello. What happened? Hello?
Marla?
Now I'm here.
Well,
Am I?
Yeah, that's weird.
Oh, maybe it was, I'm looking over my shoulder to see if there's something in the doorway. No.
Oh, that was weird.
Yeah, it was.
Okay, he's not here. He's there, but he's Paul, you there? Oh God. See, you should never mess with shadow people. Look what happens.
Damn.
He posted that photograph in the chat, and there you go. It just
He
lost.
can hear both of us now.
Yeah, but we can't hear him. See if you got your
Well, I
muted.
couldn't hear you guys.
Oh, but
He's going to call back in. That's smart.
yeah, good idea. All
I
right.
was sitting here pouting.
Oh, don't do that. Anyways,
That's
he has a book.
strange.
Did you say he had a book?
It's a book, yes. It's called The Shadow People, and it's an archive of true encounters.
Okay, and
And
go ahead.
it goes into really detail of things, and I wanted to talk about some supernatural assault. That's interesting. I got a lot of questions, but you do too. Yeah.
So where's this? Who publishes the book?
I didn't look.
Okay, no big deal. I'm sure it's available on Amazon, where you get in all good bookstores. And
now he says, "Can you hear me?" No.
No, Paul, we cannot hear you.
What?
So hey, you know what? I think it's the shadow people. I mean, shadow people are intriguing until you really experience them for yourself. They're kind of hard to believe, because like, oh, especially the word shadow, because when you think of a shadow, you think of something that's, really not there. It's just light blocked of something. So it's hard to really understand unless you experience it. If you ask me if I believe in shadow people, I mean, I don't know. I haven't never experienced it, so I'm really not sure.
Do you think that, just because we don't understand or know everything that people talk about is kind of normal to them?
1, 2. Can you hear me?
Oh, there he is.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Yes.
Wow. You know what? Every time I'm not joking. Even when I was making a documentary film, mad stuff would happen around these topics and conversations. I don't know what happened, but we went to the break. Maybe it just disconnected through the break, and just something strange happened with the connection. But I could hear you perfectly. I just couldn't get to you.
Oh, we couldn't hear you
And
at
for
all.
a while, I couldn't hear anybody either.
Well, we're back, so
Yeah.
let's go before they get another foot in the door.
Yeah, really.
Don't ring that doorbell again.
You
Well,
will.
you will.
Yeah.
At the end of
But
the
not.
show.
Yeah.
Your book. Where is your book available? And
It's on Amazon. So you need to go to Amazon.com and search for Archive of Mysteries, The Shadow People, Supernatural Assault. Search for that and it will come up. It's available in paperback and download on the Kindle devices.
Excellent.
And yeah, it's there. So, and if you want to see the documentary film that the book was created from, go to Amazon.com. Sorry, go to Amazon Prime. You can search Supernatural Assault. It's free on Tubi, and it's also on YouTube. So you can just go to YouTube, go to Paranormal Stash, and look for search for Supernatural Assault documentary. It will come up.
Yeah, see if we can put one of those links on our website so that we.
Oh yeah, but while we're speaking of links,
yes.
I've got a Facebook page. I've been running it for years, and I kind of gave up with it because I wasn't getting any new followers. I've got 1,500 followers. But it's called Archive of Mysteries. If anyone listens to that and they want to see future stuff from me, because I'm going to be producing new documentary films soon.
Oh, excellent.
I've got some stuff going on in my life. Once I get past that, I'm going back to making documentary films. And I'll be using, AI technology to do all of the reenactments, where before we had to go and film them. So these are going to look real, but I'm going to do a mixed media of real interviews and reenactments to make the show really interesting.
Yeah. Have you ever done anything on NDE?
Near-death experiences? No, I haven't. I've spoken to people who have had that type of experience, but I have never done anything yet on that. My next shows. I'm going to do Poltergeist and Hauntings, which will include the Enfield Poltergeist, that notorious English case.
Yep. Yeah.
I'm going to do that one, and then I'm going to do other hauntings like the Stocksbridge bypass, and then my third show will be UFOs and alien abductions, and I've got a whole string of them, which will all be documentary type shows, very kind of like the Twilight Zone, but modern, you know.
Oh, cool. Yeah,
Yeah.
you're not too far away from the great Bonnie and Betty one, and
Yes.
yes,
Yeah, that one was actually going to be in my UFOs one, the
Yeah.
Betty and Barney Hill episode.
yeah.
Yeah.
I was listening to a podcast. I think it was Midnight Frequency Radio, and they had an interview with the niece, I believe, of those two, and that which
Oh,
I
wow.
found interesting. Yeah, so there's still some people out there that know a lot about them. So yeah, that
Yeah.
would be a great thing. All right, so let's go back to what we were talking about. And Molly, you had some questions.
I got lots of questions. Um, but one of the chapters, people say they sometimes feel them, but can't see them. They know something's there. And it just kind of wonder if do they not the people, but the shadows, do they thrive on fear? Is that
Yes.
yeah.
Yeah. Just like I said it, I was in a movie called Shadow People. It's a real film that was made by some Hollywood production company called Anchor Bay Films. When I released the first sleep paralysis, no, when I released, it was a sleep paralysis documentary. I was contacted by one of the directors and producers of that movie, and he wanted to know what I knew about this stuff. So I started telling him, and he says, "Gee, I wish I had met you before we made the film. We pretty much shot the whole thing." Anyway, he said to me, "Listen, I'm going to talk to the head guy, the head director, and he says I'll be back in contact with you." So he called me back about an hour later, and he said to me, "I want to put you in the film."
Huh.
He knew I had all the equipment down here to shoot my part of it. So I played the expert with we done a live interview over the web. I shot it with my cameras and sent him the footage, but he was asking the questions over the web. Yeah. So we done that. I was in the film, and he wanted to know what it was. I thought it was, and I did say to him at that time, it is fear they're attracted to, and they feed off that energy. They now call it loosh. A lot of people are calling it loosh, and they feed off that fear, like almost like a shark would detect a drop of blood in the ocean. A jinn or a shadow person can detect a fear and attach itself, or a fear vibration and attach itself to you based on your spiritual, state, whether you're in a state of fear, anxiety, depression, maybe you substance abuse, you're suffering from that, maybe you got PTSD, but your vibrational frequency has been lowered enough to let them in and interact with you. So it is fear they feed from. That I do know. Rosemary Olagali said the same thing, and so do the Islamic. There's an Islamic preacher in our or scholar in our Supernatural Assault who talks all about that, and they're well into people's fear.
Do they speak?
I've never heard anyone speak to them other than telepathically.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's interesting. You said that they lower the vibration and stuff because in the spiritualist movement and most of the spiritual movement, they always talk about raising the vibration to speak to spirits that have passed.
Yeah.
So that being said, then evidently they're not spirits at all. They're other than spirits.
They're non-material entities that exist on another frequency, but their spiritual existence may not be like connected to the higher spirit realm. It may be the opposite of that spectrum. It may be to the lower spiritual realm, and then that's why when you're in that negative state, that's when they can feed on you. You hear of all these sacrifice rituals that go on when people are worshiping, the occult and the other arts. they always try to drive people into a state of fear. That's when they can extract whatever they need from those people. Yeah. The world is stranger than we are led to believe, and these things are going to be spoken about more and more as we move in through this awakening that is going on across the world. It's going to come out soon that we're not alone, and it's not just they're coming from outer space, because I think that's all a pile of nonsense anyway. I believe they're here as we are here. They are here. They just exist beyond our realm, maybe beyond, places we've never been. They even talk about underground. Now, if you connect that to where I was in the caves when I saw what I saw, that was under the ground.
Yep.
So who knows? I don't know for sure where they are, but I do know that they're real, and I do know that they exist in our space as we do in theirs.
And in reality, though, you really don't know. You believe because you have no real proof, right?
I have no proof other than what I saw with my. So for me,
right, exactly,
I know what I saw and what that German tourist saw. So I know I wasn't hallucinating. If she was not with me at the time or experiencing that with me, to this very day, I would have said maybe I imagined it all.
That's always been my belief, that the paranormal is a person. It's a personal belief more than something that we can prove. Maybe in the future we'll be able to prove it, but why do we have that the question is, could you raise or lower vibrations to do connect with them willingly? Is there something either physically, mentally, or mechanically that could be done?
Yes, there is. It's actually in the film. We spoke to a guy. He was from one of the Islamic nations. He's in the film telling you exactly how to conjure them.
Oh, lovely.
He even gives you the prayer in Arabic.
Really?
To conjure them. Yeah.
So
He tells you
why just curious, why would you want to conjure them?
Well, some people. Have you ever heard of these people that use the jinn for nefarious reasons?
Yeah.
There was a lot of publicity on this. The Ayatollah of Iran, they said, I believe it was one of the old ones, used to use the jinn to. Rosemary Ellen Guiley was the one who told me about that, and I looked it up, and it was true. It's actually published. Look up, Iran uses the jinn. You can spell it Jinn or Djinn to spy on their enemies. It was published about in I think it was one of the major American tabloids, like the real newspapers, not a hokey pokey one. And the Israelis are apparently doing it too. So who knows? But they talk about using the jinn to gain some type of advantage. There's people that talk about jinn magic, jinn magicians. You see all these magicians. Just go on YouTube and type in magicians using the jinn, and you'll see them coming up. And there's people saying, I know for a fact this magician told me how he does these tricks. He uses the jinn.
I mean, that's not unbelievable, since the government spent how many millions of dollars on remote viewing, so which is another form of supernatural or psi. So it makes sense. The more we learn, then the more we can understand things, of course.
Yeah, and it's a lot of people that are afraid of them, and they have harmed people. But there's one lady in our documentary film called Dawn, and the story about Dawn was quite tragic. We interviewed her for the Supernatural Assault documentary, and she broke down in tears during her interview. And we said to her, I was with Andrew then, Marla. You remember Andrew?
Yeah.
So Andrew said to her, why are you getting so upset? And she says, I can take seeing them to grab him, but she says, I believe they're gonna kill me. That's what she said. And I said, why would you say that? And she goes, because it's getting worse and worse. And when we finished shooting that documentary film, it was months later. I don't know how many months, but it was months later. We received a phone call from one of her family members to tell us that they had found Dawn dead, deceased in her house on her birthday, and when they did the autopsy, there was no. They put it down to natural causes. There was nothing that they could indicate that had caused her death, and that's the information that I was relayed. And it was sad. She's in the film. She was only 54 years old at that time.
I
Yeah.
remember that.
Yeah, 54
Yeah.
years old, and she's gone, and she was convinced that they were going, the shadow people that was in her house, or she had seen. That whole story is in there, and there's a dedication to Dawn at the end of the film. That's how quick she died. We were able to put her dedication in the film.
Well, with supernatural assault, they do things like that. So that makes my question is,
or is it the point that she was so scared that she just she scared herself to death, basically?
It's possible. It's possible. There's 4 people out of that whole film that are now no longer with us.
Oh, this is like the missing scientist.
Yeah, there's 4 people. Rosemary Ellen Guiley is one.
Yeah.
Dawn Howley is the other. There was a one of the young boys in one of the reenactments. He passed away from a heart issue, and then one of the older gentlemen passed away. So there was 4 people. His name's Don. You'll see him in the interviews.
This is like the Poltergeist movie.
Yeah.
Hopefully,
Hopefully,
just bumped off.
it stops there.
So
Yeah,
I'd watch your back if I were you.
Yeah, I know.
oh, don't do that.
Yeah. No, I know. It's one of those things. It could just be down to people pass away over time, but I'm not going to try to sensationalize it. But it's just the fact of what happened.
Well, maybe they can kill. I mean,
Well, we do cover that. We do cover that in the film.
Yes,
you do. Huh? I'm dying to see this film. I'm going to actually have to watch it. So
you should read the book too. Yeah.
And anyone who does, this is really important. I want to keep doing this for many years to come. If you do download the book and read it, please leave a review on Amazon, because without that review, they won't even show it to anyone if they're searching for paranormal or shadow people. So if you read it and you like it, just leave a nice review and let the world know what you thought of the Supernatural Assault book.
Very good.
Again, Archive of Mysteries, The Shadow People, and they will come up.
Excellent.
I was reading about the assault, and some of the things, it's very frightening, and they sometimes go, a little too far.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's a lot of stories that will make the hair stand up on your neck of what people have experienced, and some of it sounds like it's straight out of a Stephen King movie, but it really happens.
Oh God! So we better not be weak, because if they choose people that are, not, you're a little bit in the path.
Yeah, they say when they're onto you, sometimes you'll feel the sensation of a spider's web on your face. When the spider's web hits your face, you feel that. That's when they're testing you. Here we go, doorbell. There's somebody at the door.
Yeah. Means the end of the show.
But anyway, if that's the end of the show, then that's what I've been told. When they're testing you, when they're touching you, you feel them. It feels like a spider web touches your skin. Yeah.
Interesting.
I mean, the book is very, very good. I mean, it's people can think give it a lot of thought when you're reading it. That's, I guess, yeah.
So once again, Paul, will you give us your contact information so that people can reach out to you? Your Facebook page?
Just Facebook page is Archive of Mysteries, and that's you'll see a woman sitting in a field surrounded by glowing mushrooms. That's the banner image, and then you'll see Shadow People, the book right there on the homepage. So just follow our page, and then as I'm doing more books and more documentary films, you'll see them updated there, so you'll be able to. I don't have a website for it. I'll just do social media for now.
Yeah, websites are so tough now. Everybody's in social media, so it's difficult. I know I have to keep trying to update mine, and I've been trying to do that for many years now. But they're so difficult.
There's only so much time in the day. You can't.
Yeah, exactly. Paul, I want to thank you so much for being on the show, despite all that freaky stuff that went on during the break.
You're welcome. The shadowism.
Yeah, the Shadowless Pets.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, that was
Oh, thank you for having me.
Yeah, that was a bad vibe. The Shadows. That's if you don't know science fiction, you wouldn't know it, but they were a race of people.
Yeah.
But anyway, we do have to go. So thank you very much.
You're
And
welcome. Thank you.
yep, today's show. You've been listening to Ghost Chronicles with Marla Brooks and Ron Kolick right here on PowerX and TojiNet Radio. Show is brought to you by Circles of Wisdom, 386 Merrimack Street, Methuen, Massachusetts. The Glant Messier Family Law Group, 50 High Street, North Andover, Massachusetts. Our good friends at Ghost Chronicles Radio on Patreon. And Leslie Martin's Positively Brilliant Rakely Infused Candles. Good night, everyone. Stay safe. Stay out of the shadows.
From ghoulies to ghosties, long-leggedy beasties, and things that go bump in the night. Deliver us, good Lord.